Welcome to EJH British Cars. So something a little bit lighter today. I went and drove the TR7 the other day and noticed that the passenger side exterior mirror was just flopping around in the breeze. And what I found is that the screw that tightens the mirror head to the base was stripped out of the base. So I've got some pieces to see if we can't fix that. So I'll show you. Here's another old mirror. And to get the glass out, you can go under this long edge. You want to get under the plastic but over the glass. And then you can work it out. Don't forget that that glass is spring loaded, so make sure you keep a finger on it. So I'm back under this edge, and this is also where that glass alignment gloss is on this thing. There it is. And there it came out. This is a securing plastic piece that holds the mirror in. And if you look, there are 6 tabs on here. 2 on each of the longer sides, 1 on each of the shorter sides. And if you take a thin blade, you can get underneath and just spring them out. That these are gently, that'll pop off and you won't break the glass. If you do break the glass, unless you ask me how I know, you can get a replacement mirror. This was about 9 pounds at Rimmer Brothers, I believe. It's way cheaper than buying a new mirror. And it seems to be made by the people who make the mirror, so it looks like it's a perfect fit. So once I got the glass off, this is what I saw. This is a screw, a washer, a spring, a nylon piece, which just lifts out. This black nylon piece that goes on the outside, this goes between this metal base, or this metal mirror holder, and the base. And here's this piece. So this is designed so that, when that's tightened down, you can move the mirror to adjust it. And a pretty hefty spring. As you can see, it doesn't engage by all that much. So what's happened, don't forget that this is off of a 1981. So, and as far as I know, this is the original mirror. The threads pulled out of this end, and I expect it's just because the Zamac vibrated, whatever. But when I took the screw out, you can see little half moon crescents of thread that came out. So this is some sort of a metric size, and what I found is that this stripped out hole is just about the right size for a 1032 bolt in Imperial. So what I'm going to do, it's not very deep either. Of course, if you look, that's at an angle at about like that this would come through this outside edge eventually, but I'm going to take a drill bit that's sized for my machinist manual for threading 1032 bits, and I believe it's a 5/32 bit, or I think it's a number 21 in number bits. So I'm going to run the drill down here, which should get the alignment because it's kind of a funny angle. And I'm also going to take a little bit additional metal out of the base here so I can have some threads that are in fresh material. So here's my drill press. I'm just going to hold this by hand because, I actually just bought a new angle vise for this, but to try to hang on to this thing is almost impossible. So I should be able to drill this. Certainly I'd be able to run it through to get it clean. Well, I'd say that's pretty close to being all the way through. So 1032 bit, or tap. Just put it in, feed it in gently, nice and square. It should cut through this stuff pretty easy. Ideally, you would use a bottoming tap for this, but I don't have a bottoming tap in 1032. So we're going to just try it with this one, but it does feel like it's cutting well. I found a bottoming tap. This is a bottoming tap, and you see it's got a square end. This is actually a BS 3/16 tap. And it's just about identical size to 1032. It feels like it's just slightly smaller. but it seems to have 32 threads per square inch. So I'm going ahead and just run this down, and I can feel it cutting threads in the bottom, so I'll get that new screw just a little bit further down. This must be in my box of taps here. I have stuff that I took when I closed out my father's workshop after he passed away in 1983. And there are some British Standard taps and dies, a few other oddball things. There's some Wentworth too. They do come in handy now and then. So anyway, I don't know how well you can see that, but that's threaded in nicely now. So let's see if we can get it to go together. Well, there it is in place. This screw is about 1/4 inch longer than the one that was in there. And I put it in, but it's pulled that down really tight. This is nice and firm, but it still functions. Just. So, just need to put the glass back in, I guess. And then we'll all be in one piece. So, I'll show you that in a minute. This mirror housing, this edge is rolled over, and this whole piece of plastic fits underneath the edge of the metal. There's the spring back in with an old piece of the paper that was on the back. That goes on here. So this is really the tricky part, that with that spring loaded in there, you're fighting that all the time. You need to have your piece of plastic. Put it skinny in first because we can feed it in, and that's locked in. And then you want to make sure that the glass, you got the plastic locked in there, and I'm pushing the glass this way. And I did the top corner, and then hopefully we bend the long edge in a little bit. Should be able to, there. So just bent that in a little bit, and it let that piece snap into there, and then that spring holds everything tight, and there it is, all back together. So the only thing left to do is go mount it back on the car and clean this big thumbprint out of the middle. So this is the screw that clamps this base onto these two raised portions. Seen an awful lot of these cars that these are broken on. These are casting, they're Zamax, so they're probably not very good. So you can see underneath here, there's a wedge there for it to go under, and the end of that screw has a point on it. So you put it back edge first, bring it forward, so it sits over that piece, and you got to pretty much take this screw all the way out. You get it down far enough to go over there, and I'm just turning that in. And there he is, all nice and snug. Kind of guess it about whereabouts it needs to be. We'll have to fine tune it next time we go out with it. Well, I know that wasn't a very exciting video, but I think it's a lot more exciting than sanding primer, and that's all I've been doing lately, sanding primer and Bondo. So I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, all those good things, and we'll see you next time.